I see it as being very close. I could very easily think the Vikings could win this game. If which team plays the best, which quarterback plays the best, that's what it's going to come down to. But this is what I want to see. I want to see Quez Watkins or anybody matched up with Patrick Peterson. He can't run like he used to run. They beat him in the first play of the game. The Packers had him beat, but the kid dropped the ball.
I'm looking at more 19 games here. Okay, we got to get to our friend Garry Cobb because Garry is doing work tonight, obviously, for Fox 29, and he joins us now here on the National Football Show. Straight out, Garry, what do you see tonight, my friend?
Well, I think we got ourselves a close game. I think we got a game really that could go either way because as much as I hate to say it, man, doggone Vikings, they look good in that first game, and they played good, sound football. They outplayed Green Bay. You're going to get – you got, Cook is a good running back. You got to deal with him. That kid Jefferson, man, he's going to be tough to stop, and so you're dealing with some really talented players. And, Cousins – He's not the kind of guy that's going to make the spectacular play, but he's very accurate. He reads defenses very quickly. He's got the foundation of being an outstanding quarterback. And so, they're probably going to put some points on the board. It's going to be nearly impossible to shut them all the way out when you got that kind of talent they have on the offensive side of the ball. But the big thing that the Eagles have got to do, you got to force some turnovers. You got to stop them. You got to force some turnovers because you're probably going to give up some points. Now, offensively, we got a lot of weapons, and Jalen did a great job of running to negate because the offensive line didn't do a great job with the pass pro in that first game, but Jalen was able to kind of cover for them. But in this game, is he going to be able to read the blitz, check out of whatever they're doing, get the ball out of his hands? You can't run all year. You can't do that. You're not going to stay healthy doing that. So, how is he going to progress as a quarterback? I think we're going to see some of that tonight and see if they can come out in that offensive line who didn't play their best game in the first game. Let's see if they can take over this game because if you can run the ball on people, you take over the game, you dominate the game. So, the Vikings are going to run it because, their coaches come from the Rams school over there with Sean McVay, and O'Connell believes in running the ball. Even in that game, I was just looking at some of it. They ran the ball. They're committed to running the ball. And the kid
and they got a heck of a runner in Dalvin Cook. Garry, if you're Jonathan Gannon, do you simplify the defenses more, or do you going into trying to correct what happened in that Lions game where you gave them the opportunity at 31-17 to come back? Yeah. See, to me, I'm more concerned about Gannon than I am Hurts tonight. That I am, because he has not shown, Garry, where he has slowed down these high-volume passers. He's just not done that. And so do you agree? It's more on Gannon tonight, more so than maybe even Hurts.
It could very well be. We'll see how this thing plays out. But clearly, everybody's looking at me. I can't go anywhere without people stopping me, asking me about Gannon. And I mean, he hasn't proven it. I want to see. This is a test for him because this is a good offense. How are you going to attack them? How are you going to deal with taking away Jefferson? Are you going to say, okay, we're just not going to give him big plays underneath stuff? He's going to be. We're not going to double him as much, but we're going to keep somebody over the top all the time on him. It's going to be interesting to see how they do it. They could play, a man-to-man with the safeties over the top, or they could try to take him out by playing double on him. And we're going to see what they're going to do with the pass rush. Ultimately, a lot of it comes up. They got to get more pass rush than they got last week. These guys have got to get to the passer, and you got to hear something from Hassan Reddick. We need to hear something from him tonight. Sweat, all those guys, they got to do something. But I'll tell you this, the weak part of the Minnesota offensive line is the center and the two guards. See? So those guys got to do something up the gut. You know, the guys are making a lot of money. They've invested a lot of money inside there. And the kid that really made the play of the game was the kid Tuia Topu, the kid from USC, Marlin. He made the big pass rush on that on the interception. He made him throw the ball early, and really that was the reason for that interception. So he got some pressure, but they got to get pressure in Cousins' face because he doesn't like to move. You know, he likes to stand there and deliver the ball. So if you get pressure in his face, it makes him move, and he's not comfortable doing that. And that's when he makes mistakes. If he stands there and he's able to get the ball out from his spot, he's very accurate. He usually doesn't make mistakes, doesn't turn the ball over a lot. But they need turnovers tonight. They need to turn that ball over if they're going to beat them, because likelihood is the team that turns the ball over is going to lose this game as more than one of the teams winning the game. Team that makes some mistakes is the team that's going to lose this game.
How about this too, Garry? I said tonight about Dalvin Cook. If Dalvin Cook goes for 130 or he's getting big plays on first down, this will be pitch and catch all night for Minnesota. You agree?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Dalvin Cook, if he has a big night, it's going to be very difficult for the Eagles to win because, you know, they're going to do some things through the air. And if you start where you cannot deal with their running game, you know, then you're kind of susceptible. It's going to be very difficult really to get a pass rush on him. See, and if you don't get a pass rush on Cousins, dude is accurate. I know a lot of people, for whatever reason, people don't like Cousins. Cousins is an outstanding passer. He puts the ball on the money. He reads the defense. He goes where he's supposed to go to with the ball, and he does it quickly. And with the way they're doing now, where they got this stuff scripted against what you're playing, they do a great job, just like McVay did. See, is they do a great job with their game plan, man. And if you don't take something away, if you let them run the ball against you, you're in trouble, really, because they do a great job with play action pass off of that run look, and that's what could give them a lot of problems.
How big is Miles Sanders tonight?
Oh, I think Miles is huge. Can you hear me good, or is there a problem there?
No, I got you good. I got you. Yeah, okay. I got you.
Miles Sanders, I think he's the key to their season. I think because if Miles plays the way he did last week and plays the way he's capable of it, I think he makes them an outstanding team, takes a lot of the pressure off of Jalen, because then Jalen's going to be throwing the ball where people are going to be trying to stop their running game, and then it's going to be easier to throw. And because when you're successful running the ball, then you stay out of third and long situations. You're not in them. And so if Miles plays the way he did last week, take care of the ball, you know, be smart with the way you run and go ahead and hit that hole like he did, I think he's going to have a big year. And that would be the key, I think, to them being a team that is going to be a number one seed, or at least fighting for that, because you look at their schedule. If they play well, and they really didn't play their best ball. They still won last week. But they need to play well this week. So we need Miles to play another game like he did last week and have those big runs, take care of the ball. And I think that's going to – they got so many weapons to put the ball. So I don't think you can stop all of them. If they just execute, how are you going to stop? Like last week, like Dallas Goedert, he only caught 3 balls, but they were for 60 yards.
60 yards, I know. 20 yards a catch, tight end.
Yeah, and the throws he caught, 2 times, he took them all the way down inside the 5-yard line. Those are killer shots when you don't have enough time to focus on the tight end when you're worrying about A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. So you cannot put a lot of attention into the tight end. So the Eagles have enough weapons where, boy, they could really have a great year offensively. I'm telling you. And I mean, think about it. Last week they scored 31 points. 31 points they scored, and they didn't score any points until the second quarter.
I know, that's a lot. Garry, 2 last questions for you.
Yeah.
2 last questions for you. Devonta Smith, they've got to find ways to get him open. Do you think that that's going to be a priority tonight to try to get the ball in his hands too? Because, I mean, like you said, if they want to win this game tonight, you can't just be one-dimensional on one guy. Goddard or Smith have to be viable tonight.
Well, I think that they can do some things to go ahead and run, a route that's going to get the ball in his hands early. Even if it's a quick screen or something, get the ball in the kid's hands early so that you kind of just get by that. So he gets rid of all of the, any kind of nervousness or anything because, he hasn't caught a pass yet. So you get that done early. And I think you run something so he's at least going to get his hands on the football.
Before we go to timeout there. So, Gary, how do you see this thing playing out tonight?
I think it's going to be a close game. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Eagles, even though I see it as being very close. I could very easily think the Vikings could win this game. If which team plays the best, which quarterback plays the best, that's what's going to come down to. But this is what I want to see. I want to see Quez Watkins or anybody matched up with Patrick Peterson. He can't run like he used to run. They beat him in the first play of the game. The Packers had him beat, but the kid dropped the ball. They've got to take advantage of him when they catch him man to man. They need to check out of something, go deep against Patrick Peterson, and that could be the difference in the game because they could get big plays over there with him. Now, you got to watch throwing it over there all the time because he will jump a route, but can't run like he used to run. Can't run anymore. Patrick Peterson, he's the one you circle, and you got to get after him. So I got the Eagles 31-28.
How about this, Gary?
I got the Eagles winning.
How about this? Do you think it's imperative that the Eagles get a lead on this team? Or if the Vikings, because I say this to you, I think that they would have a tough time in a shootout with the Minnesota Vikings. If the Vikings get 2 scores and it's up 14-0, to me, I think they're in trouble if that happens because they rely on long drives, 10-play drives, 12-play drives.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get into a shootout. Is it imperative that they score first and get on the board first against Minnesota?
Of course, they're at with all the Philly fans that you don't want them to come in there and let Minnesota do something that quiets them down. And that might do that if they jumped off to that big of a lead. So I think it is important the Eagles do come out and they jump on them early because that's going to get the crowd into it. And I hopefully it gets that pass rush going because I think their pass rush is going to have a lot to do with who wins the game. The Eagles pass rush has got to show up. They got all these guys. They're paying them a lot of money. They got to deliver tonight. They got to get to Kirk Cousins. That defensive line has got to get home.
Sweat's got to show up too, right? Sweat and Reddick tonight.
Sweat and Reddick off the corner, man. They got to get there. The guys inside got to do it. We didn't see much last week. Won the game, but they let them come back. Goff, who's a guy you can't intimidate, they weren't able to get to him, but they got to get to Kirk Cousins tonight if they want to win this game because Minnesota's got an outstanding offense. And they're going to score some points. You got to get to Cousins with the pass rush.
And I think they're pretty good on defense. Gary, talk to you later, my friend. Thank you so much, man.
All righty. Have a good one.
You got it, man. Hey, hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football Show.
Many times when people are injured at a place of business, they don't realize they may have a case. The fact is, injuries should not happen. And most of the time when someone is injured, someone is at fault. Maybe the store manager installed a cheap, slippery floor, or there wasn't proper security. After an injury at a hotel, restaurant, store, or any place of business, it's so important to call us. Time matters, size matters. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.